Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to another live show. It's me, James, and it's Gunnar Lee. How are we doing?
Listen, man, I've got my new merch. Last time I had the AFTV jumper. Now I've got my mate from Ukraine, so I'm feeling good, man.
Love it. He's back in train today. That's actually one of the news stories we want to go over. But yeah, listen, looks good. If you guys want the merch, go check out. I was going to say the link in the description, but it's slightly changed. Let me just pick it up now here. Let me see. Bless Harvey sending it over to me. AFTVstore.com. That's where you're going to find it. And we've even got some Christmas stuff. This one, which we had last year, which Three Kings.
The Three Kings.
Class one. Love it. We'll wait till a year to wear it, but why would you wear it in summer? Yeah. And we've got some new stuff as well. Go check it all out. As I said, AFTVstore.com. We'll get that edited and added into the link as well. And maybe even put in the chat production if we can. Yep. But yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to another live show. Welcome to quite a big discussion, because not only are we here to react to some of the stuff that came out over the weekend, very exciting transfer stuff. I know Robbie's covered it a little bit already, and talk about this confirmation of the Man City fixture. We've got our eye on social media, the TV, if we find out what channel it's on, for the FA Cup draw, because we're going to find out who we're playing in the third round. We know Arsenal enter the third round along with, I think all Premier League clubs enter the third round. Yeah. That's the way it is. The kind of earlier rounds are filtered through some of the lower leagues. And it's nothing to scoff at, because sometimes when that third round draw's done, you go, oh, all right, well, we'll see who we get, blah, blah. But you could get anyone. We got Forest last year. We got knocked out. Yeah, so we're interested to see who it might be.
And wasn't it the year before we got Southampton and we got knocked out? Or was that the round afterwards?
The round after. But yeah, basically.
So yeah, we haven't done too well the last 2 years.
No,
so,
one FA Cup. One win in the FA Cup since we won it in 2020.
Not great.
Yeah, no, not ideal. Fourth round exit and a third round exit. But okay, where do you want to start? Should we start with the confirmation of this Man City fixture?
Yeah. Listen, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think 15th of February it's been confirmed. Why did I intro that without having the exact date in front of me? But we'll read out what Arsenal revealed on their website. But they basically, we know that game didn't go ahead because of the passing of the Queen in England. We had the Everton game postponed. We had a Europa League game postponed. That Europa League game against PSV at home had to be played. Man City fixture was the one that suffered for it, and has been put to, we've got it here, Man City at home, given new date. Wednesday, February the 15th, 7:30 kickoff UK time at the Emirates Stadium. It's being shown live on Amazon Prime Video. Give me your thoughts.
I just wanted to know, is that the game that do we play them first at home, or do we play them away first and then we play them out?
So we were meant to play them at home first, and I believe that's staying the same. But this is why we love live reactions on a show where we haven't really prepped as much.
I should have done my own work.
No, it's me. Don't worry. Let's have a little look here at the fixtures. So it's West Ham at home on Boxing Day. Yeah. That's the return to the Premier League. Brighton away on New Year's Eve. Nice 5:30 kickoff for the fans there. We've got Newcastle at home January the 3rd. We've got Tottenham away January 15th. That's a big gap. I imagine that's where they're going to put some FA Cup fixtures. We've got Man United at home on January 22nd. So that's a difficult January so far. Newcastle, Spurs, and then Man United. Then we've got Everton away at the beginning of February. We've got Brentford at home the 11th of February. Then we've got Manchester City at home the 15th of February. So there's no Man City fixture before that.
Do you know what? Now you said that, bring it on. Like, a big up to my mate Daps. He does the YouTube stuff as well. I love Daps a bit. He's a Man City fan. Make sure you go and follow him. He's doing some big stuff as well. But listen, I'm ready for that game, man. It's gonna hopefully be a title decider. Hopefully, well, the first part of the title decider if we get to that stage and we're still in a very advantageous position. I know you just read out those January fixtures and they look quite difficult on paper, but quite a few of them are at home. That's the first thing. And listen, we have to go confident. Not all of our players are playing in the World Cup, so we can't really use that as an excuse as well. So listen, man, I'm feeling confident, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm feeling confident, man.
I love that, and you rightly should be, because Arsenal have made such an impressive start. We discussed on Behind the Numbers. You haven't checked that out, guys, it's out on AFTV. Turkish and I literally just took like 14, 15 just of the most interesting stats and facts around Arsenal this season and broke down what they meant. But it's so finely poised, this game, isn't it? Because it's at a time where the January window will be done. The World Cup will be a good 2 months gone, and we won't have kicked a ball against City by that point. So, however right or wrong it goes, there's nothing we can do after that bar just get through with what we've got. I mean, it's not like it's at the beginning of January where maybe we might learn something from it. We'll go into it with the best we got.
I think as well, look, we're going to get into it. There's some transfer rumours that might kind of make us feel a bit more positive as well about the squad and about players that can come in. But look, all I go back to is pretty much, I think it was the 1st of January 2022, wasn't it? And we played Man City, and that first half, I know everyone's going to say, oh, I'm mentioning the first half, even though we lost the game. Well, we had 10 men. That was the first thing. Yeah, we conceded a stupid goal in the last minute to make it a loss. But that first half, we absolutely thumped them. And the way we're playing right now, with the two kind of added pieces of quality from Man City, I'm very, very confident that we can actually put up a great fight and a great challenge. I'm not saying here we're going to win, but I'm feeling confident that we can get a win. Looking on how we're playing, I know we've not played for almost feels like an eternity right now, but look, there are so many things which go in my favor right now that make me think, yes, we have a really good chance of doing some really good things. And listen, man, 15th of February, it could be fireworks. It could be fireworks, mate. I'm excited.
That's Wednesday the 15th of Feb, and it's followed by Aston Villa away on February the 18th. So that's a tricky week. City at home, then Villa away. Then we've got Leicester away, so back-to-back weeks in the Midlands. Then we've got Bournemouth at home, Fulham away, Palace at home. That's a semi-ideal March. Obviously, I expect Europa League commitments and maybe a cup run there, we hope, although last season didn't go that way. Newcastle at home, Liverpool away, West Ham away, Southampton at home, City away, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away. That's a tough 3 in a row. City away, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Brighton at home, Forest away, Wolves home. The games, they're not. We've got Everton as well at home to come in.
You know, it's mad to say that, and I'm going to say it because it's an age-old quote. Everyone says it, but I am really I'm not even looking month by month. I'm looking game by game.
No, I get it.
Because you've got all the other top teams. They're going to be in competitions as well. So they're probably thinking, oh, bloody hell, we've got to play Arsenal at that moment in time. Or you've got the lesser teams or the smaller teams, obviously no disrespect to them, and they may be going through their things. You know, Newcastle, I'm not saying they're a small team, they may be going through the FA Cup. You've got also the Carabao Cup for Newcastle, and that's in February. You've also got some of the other teams like a Southampton may think, you know what, I want to go in a cup run. Everton as well, they may want to go in a cup run. Frank Lampard, he needs to win. He's going through it right now. So for me, I just look, we can look at these games on paper and think, oh my, that run looks quite difficult, that looks hard, but at that moment in time, you just never know. Like when we was meant to play Everton, they didn't have, I think, 4 or 5 players, and Pickford was out as well. So injuries are going to play a big factor into that as well. So look, yes, on paper those look like some really difficult runs, but Arsenal are playing so well. I can't look past my team. I can't look past my team. I hear
what you're saying. Agent E says Pep's going to hold this L on Valentine's Day.
Listen, mate. Listen.
Fair enough. Andrew, thank you very much for the super chat. So the draws on BBC 2 at 7 p.m. All right, I will get that up on the app and keep an eye on that. And Himal as well. So the same thing. I said, Alex, thank you so much, guys, for letting us know. So we'll keep an eye on that. Really thankful to AFTV in times like this, relieving our hunger for Arsenal content, says Grumpy Doctor. I'm glad we're helping. And trust me, it's also nice for us to just be talking about Arsenal because of how well things have been going, but also the World Cup is sort of taking everyone's attention. I've been watching much of the World Cup,
mate. Every single day I've been gripped to my TV, whether it's at work or at home. And do you know what I'm loving? I'm loving the amount of upsets. I'm loving the fact that whether we like it or not, Arsenal players aren't playing. There no minutes in the legs. I know Jesus came on today. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I don't want to spoil the score for anyone, but yet he came on the pitch today. And was it the 95th minute? That Joga Benito, it was beautiful what he did. So yeah, look, I'm overall very, very happy with the whole World Cup and what's going on. And I must say, more importantly, not even to say that this is any promo, the coverage on DR Sports is absolutely top quality. Please, guys, go and watch. Not only Robbie and guys out there, but even in the studio, man, there's some really, really funny stuff. The one today with the Ghana, mate, that was hilarious. Go and watch it, guys. Man.
No, I've got to say, massive credit to DR and what they're doing there.
100%.
To have it covered every single match in the studio and then every single match out there on the ground as well. You've seen Flex with the fans, AGT, Robbie as well. You know, the stuff they've been doing is amazing. So guys, I know here we like to relieve you guys of all the World Cup talk and discuss other things, Arsenal related. But absolutely a massive credit to them, and we're approaching round 3 of the group stages 100%. Now, and they've had it all absolutely covered. Yeah, you're right. Jesus came on, lovely little touch, but it feels like everyone's getting the right minutes. You know, Ghana and Partey with a big win today. They were 2-0 up, pull back to 2-2, get the third. And then otherwise, I'm not really sure there's any other. I mean, you know, Saka got a lot of minutes for England again the other day, but England didn't look all that, did they?
Well, do you know what? Look, everyone's talking about England and saying they're not playing well and this and that. Look, you're not going to play well every game. Brazil haven't played well every game. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
They've played particularly well in either.
I mean,
like they've been fine.
There you go. So that's the first thing. And I think the second thing, look, sometimes you got to think, we know what Gareth Southgate is. He's a pragmatic manager. He's not ever going to go out of the ordinary. He's never going to go off cuff and say, do you know what, let's just go for it. He wants to set up a basis of a defence and not lose the game. And I'm not saying that I agree with that. I don't. I think England need to go on the front foot with the players they have, especially. But what I will say is, we know what he is. So we just have to just go with what he wants, and hopefully we get some luck with it, because nothing's going to change right now. He's not going to do anything outrageous, because he's not done it all bloody qualifiers. So he's not going to do it now and take the risk. So look, I mean, Ben White's on my TV screen. He should be starting. But look, Maguire, he's come in and he's played well. So look, so no one's going to give him credit for that. I think Maguire's
been excellent.
So look, we can't always say that it's all negative on the mate Gareth Southgate, man. Now come on, let's get behind the team, man. Get behind the team, I would say.
We'll keep an eye on Uruguay, Portugal. Turkish is actually on the watch long for DR Sports. Before we send you over there, though, stay with us, because we are going to be reacting to the live FA Cup draw as it starts. So just to give you some time frames, it's currently 6:48. Let's call it 10 to 7. In about 10 minutes' time, the Portugal-Uruguay game will kick off. So we'll keep an eye on that. Between 7 and 7:30, we're going to be getting news of the FA Cup draw. I will get BBC 2 up on my phone, and we'll sort of keep get the updates there. But if it's a little bit behind, do let us know in the comment section who Arsenal are drawing. But if you're there to troll, that's please don't. Let's talk about Arsenal squad being back in training now. We know that they've got some friendlies coming up. Are you surprised they're back this early? I didn't really know it. How long have they been gone? Maybe
it feels like 3 weeks. It feels actually like 3 weeks, because it's been just over a week for the World Cup. They had a week before that where they went away, so it's been about 2.5.
So I think the Wolves game was November the 13th.
So
2 weeks, Dave Jordan. Thank you, Dave. So they have 2 weeks off. Okay, that's probably normal.
And I think, do you know what? You don't want it to be too long, because then you start to lose rhythm. You start to get players that are just almost a bit like it's I'm a teacher, so that 6 weeks holiday vibe where I'm not doing anything, I'm just at home, or you want to get them still back in the rhythm, because there is an important second half of the season. And the most important thing we need to remember, the majority of the second half is going to be played in the second half of the season. So there's a lot of football to be played, whether it's the 4 competitions. Obviously we're not in all 4, but look, there's a lot of football to be played, I would say.
There is, even before it becomes competitive. We know that they've got Lyon on the 8th of December. That's in the Dubai Super Cup. They'll be travelling out to Dubai for that. They've got AC Milan as well on the 13th of December, same competition or friendly competition. They've got Juventus at home. Someone, who was it? Someone called Newcastle, Juventus. I thought that was absolute genius. Anyway, Juventus in January. Juventus in December 17th, 6 o'clock kickoff at the Emirates Stadium. So the day before the World Cup final. And reports, rumours, I think I saw it in Arseblog News, apologies, I've got my source wrong, but you're scrolling through Twitter, things come up. Behind closed door friendly against Watford, which makes sense. They share London Colney. And a good chance to get some minutes in the legs there. We know that that's something Arteta's been a big fan of, actually, since he arrived at the club, I didn't really know of behind closed door friendlies when Wenger was there or Emery much. But Arteta, I think, liked getting that game time behind the scenes. You know, not everything's always on camera, everything's live, everything's getting scrutinised so much. Just an opportunity to try a few different things and get minutes in the legs.
Wasn't it even last season we played Brentford and we lost like 5-2, and it was quite a mixture of a team. I mean, look, especially how obviously in unfortunate circumstances we had to play a lot of behind closed games when we were starting back up the league. We played Watford, I think we played Brentford, as I said, so we should be used to this as a club, and most other teams are going to be doing the same thing. I think it's quite nice and glamorized that we are going to be playing some other European teams, but I don't know if you're going to take too much from it, because it's not going to be the first team, and we've seen, unfortunately, when we make subs already, the team isn't fully functioning in the way we play with the first 11. So there's going to be there's some players like your Zinchenko's and stuff like that, where you're going to be looking at to get some minutes in the legs and stuff like that. But there's also going to be some other players, the youth players and stuff, that we know are basically going to get no minutes in the Premier League or any other cup competition. The big one for me, also, I keep forgetting, I don't know why, but I keep forgetting he plays for us, is ESR. Another one that should be getting some real minutes for us. So,
well, I think I'm worried that he won't even be ready for these friendlies.
Well, he said he is going to be ready.
He said?
He said he's going to be ready. I think he did an interview recently. Well, he did one with Frimpong for the actual Arsenal. If you go online, he did some kind of karaoke thing. And he said he should be ready, should be fighting fit for those pre-season games, or what I say, start up of the new season. So let's see.
That's fantastic. We want him to get those minutes. Another one being El Neni. I know we had some towards the end of the build up to the World Cup, but I'm not an El Neni hater, far from it. I think he's a player that gives us plenty as a backup. Is he Thomas Partey? No. Is he, though, incredibly dependable? You get a solid performance out of. He doesn't feel like the one that's let you down when things go wrong. So I'm more than happy for him to get the game time, and then that leads us into January quite soon after, where things can be targeted. One of those targets, as Benji put here, talk about Mudryk. He's asked. Let's talk about Mudryk. A lot came out over the weekend. We were just looking and reading some stuff from an Italian source as well. But I think it was mainly the Mirror. Now I'm going to make sure I get the exact quotes and the exact bit of news, so I'm not, leaving you guys with any false information. But this one really picked. Here we go. This one really picked up over the weekend. This is. I always get my news on Twitter from Z or Z. Z. Feels Z.
I think it's Z. I would say Z.
ZRAFC. Arsenal set to win the race for top transfer target Mykhailo Mudryk in £40 million deal. Insiders say the Gunners have the framework of a deal in place after Shakhtar significantly lowered their original demands. That comes from the Mirror Football. He's added the link. Whoever's added the link, says by Clive Hetherington and Freddie Cahey, sports reporters. So that's coming from the Mirror. And there's a little bit more. It's now understood that Shakhtar are willing to accept around 40 million plus potential add-ons for Mudryk. Another factor in Arsenal's favour is Mudryk's desire to link up with the Ukraine teammate Alexander Zinchenko. We then had Ben Jacobs say that publicly Shakhtar starting say 86 million, but privately I'm told by sources at the club that 51 to 56 million is a viable number that they might consider selling Mudryk for. That's good news from Arsenal. That's good news from Arsenal and other suitors' perspective that his price has risen, but not quite to the 86 million, at least not privately, despite what Shakhtar may say in public. So that's the news that's been shared around my timeline. There are some other bits as well from Italian sources, as we mentioned. But essentially, sometimes transfers feel like they have way too much momentum. Now, Tielemans was slightly different in the summers. There's a lot of momentum with Tielemans, but actually the Ornsteins of the world and all them were saying, let's just hold up. It's not as advanced as people think. But this is other journalists coming out, with him doing the interviews, talking about how he likes the project, how he'd rather be a starter for Arsenal than a bench player for Real Madrid, all this stuff. Then you had the reports that are coming out. This feels something about it,
Do you know what? I think the difference between the Tielemans thing and when you think about this Mudryk transfer as well is the fact that I don't know if you saw the interview we did with Zinchenko's wife, who is also a Ukrainian news reporter, and you just think he's literally begging to come to Arsenal.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
Every single question is, yes, I want to come to Arsenal. Yes, I want to play for Arsenal. Yes, I wouldn't be opposed to moving to another part of Europe. And I know I need to make my next step in terms of playing for in England and playing for Arsenal. And he likes Arsenal. So for me, not only do we get these news reports, but we get it from the horse's mouth. He wants to actually play for Arsenal. And he's been basically saying all along, come and get me, Arsenal. So I think when you do that, you automatically lower the price, because you know that there's only one club that you want to go to, and in truth, the Ukrainian club Shakhtar, they need to sell, because otherwise they're going to lose their commodity, or his price will go down more and more eventually. So I think for me, I'm very much looking at it and I'm saying, look, go and get it done. He's a quality player. He's played in the Champions League. He won't be cup tied for Europa League, I don't believe. And I think he adds that pure quality that we need in the squad. So yeah, mate, I'm very, very enthused by that. I would say
I'm enthused by that link. One thing that maybe some people chat about, but I've not seen enough of, is actually Arteta's record with wingers. Sterling and Sane spoke highly, or people within the club spoke highly about Arteta's development on those players. We've seen the levels that Saka and Martinelli have got to in terms of contribution, output, what the work that they put in out on the wings, which is funny. I wouldn't have picked Arteta to be, if I was sort of to imagine what he'd be like as a coach, I wouldn't have thought that, developing some of the best young wingers.
I tell you what,
football would have been one of the things.
There's a fantastic video where it was the goal that Saka scored for England. Was it the first or the second goal, where he kind of was running and he cut in and he shot?
Yeah,
that was the second goal. And there's a video a few years back. I think he was the manager of Arsenal at the time, and he did a video with one of the F2 freestylers, talking about how to take the ball and then obviously take that shot. And it is just, you see a proper top level coach in Arteta. And then when they showed a video of Saka scoring it, and it's just, you can see it has got Arteta's name written all. Saka is an embodiment of the Arteta kind of coaching and how he wants his wingers to be, and you see it, and it's just beautiful. And he shows about, and he talks about how you shouldn't have the ball too far away from your body, etc. Listen, go and watch it. I have to find that video and hopefully try and plug it. But yeah, it's really, really good. And you can just, as I said, see we are working with a top level coach, and he knows how to get the best out of wingers. And you said he was a deep line playmaker. How would he kind of be able to have his imprint on some of these players that are wingers or more attacking players? But listen, I keep saying it, people don't want to listen. We're dealing with a really, really top level coach, and people don't want to they don't want to admit, because he had a poor first season and a half. But listen, people need to start putting respect on this guy's name, because he is, I'm gonna say it, he's a third best manager in the league. I'm gonna say no more.
Wow,
he's the third best manager.
What do you guys think? You know what? It's really nice that is a universally kind of, not to say he's at top 3 in the league, but that people are kind of universally just giving him his praise.
Yeah, man.
And he deserves. He's taken a lot of heat, but he's been turning things around. Another player we were linked with, not just Mudryk, because I think we talked a lot about what Mudryk can offer before. But another player we've been linked with is Christian Pulisic. I don't know if you saw those links. And Arsenal fans on Twitter were sort of saying, well, you know what? We've seen quality at Chelsea, though it's gone downhill. And with Arteta's record of working with wingers, maybe that's a player who could develop really well.
Do you know what I like about Pulisic is that he's a fantastic ball carrier. But I'll be honest, that is all I like about him.
Right.
I can't stand him, and I would be very, very shocked if Arteta let me down and bought Pulisic. Please keep Captain America at Chelsea, with all of those American consortiums that they've got over there. I don't need any more. Stan Kroenke's enough. That's it. That's the only Americans I need at my club. Actually, and Matt Turner. No, give him some props.
Matt Turner's been playing really well.
Matt Turner. But listen, no, I don't need Pulisic. I don't need him at all.
What is it about his game that you think he's lacking? I mean, I think when he first signed for Chelsea, and I think back to that FA Cup where he injured his hamstring, but he was causing us so many problems.
Do you know what it is? My main thing about his injury record is terrible, and I don't want any more players like that. My second thing is there's too many low motor players in the world. Players that they need that G up constantly to produce. And I want players that are constantly driven, like your Sakas, like your Jesuses, like your Martinellis. And that's just, I call them low motor players that are just, you just don't get enough. They flatter to deceive too many times. And the quality, it's there in bits. I mean, he's played well for USA, but I think, you know, some players, when they put their national shirt on, they come into a different player. I don't see it. I don't see the quality that what we have currently. Is he going to exponentially improve any of that? No. Is he going to do anything which is different from what we've got? No. Nah, I'm Pulisic. Listen, you stay on your nice wage at Chelsea, or, you know, go somewhere else in Europe, but this is top team, and Arsenal, we don't need someone like Pulisic, I'll be honest with you.
Look, he wouldn't be my first choice. And Uruguay have just had a shot here against Portugal, so we do have the World Cup in the background, guys. Speaking of the World Cup, actually, you know, the way USA played against England, the way England played, I'm taking USA's players at the moment. Honestly, we look poor. But Pulisic wouldn't be my first choice, but it would also be a player that I think he would give us something. Maybe not as a first teamer, but I think he'd offer something to the squad.
But what's he gonna?
There's levels we can get him back to.
What's he gonna offer different to what we've got already?
Maybe not a lot.
So that's why, at least with the Mudryk thing, I think he's quite similar to someone like Martinelli, but I just think that pace, that electric pace, and constantly going at players, those defenders, I just think, yes, someone like that, yeah, we can really take. Someone like Pulisic, I don't get it from him. I'm not enthused by. Oh wow, I'm not enthused by him at all. I'm really not. So
Devon suggests Aronson at Leeds. He's another American player that I really like the look of. He was he started well at Leeds. I think it was brilliant that Chelsea game when they beat them 3-0. There's clearly talent, creativity there. His style is feels quite Arsenal. I think there'll never be sort of too many creators for me in the team. I think they'll always, over a squad and over a season, they'll always have their part to play.
But I think especially now we've got ESR now, and we've still got to kind of have him into the team, and that's another player who I would say is not too dissimilar to someone like Pulisic. Can play left, play right, even playing that number 8/10 if needed. He can carry the ball fantastically well, and I think that penetrative, late into the box kind of player, someone like Pulisic. So for me, look, I think we've got players like that already. We've still got Fabio Vieira as well, another player who's not too dissimilar. Not maybe got the pace, but listen, he's not a bad player, Pulisic, but Arsenal on a different level with players like that currently, in my opinion. Well,
Cat Lego says Danny Olmo is an Arteta guy. Yeah, I mean, that's actually not a bad shout. Someone who could play across the front three. Obviously been trained as a Spanish player to play that kind of possession-based football. You got Pat who says we've still got Zaha, Pedro Neto, Facundo Torres, Moussa Diaby on the short list. I think he's saying you look at them ahead of Pulisic. What else have we got? Let's get Mudryk and Danilo and we're good, says Pat as well. Tielemans against Morocco is not really impressive, says that he's good spirit. I mean, he came on and they were just all playing quite badly.
And Belgium, they are literally an overcooked potato right now. They are done for, and they just need to reset. I don't know where their youth or young players are coming in, but they are very, very, very poor team right now. And sometimes, as much quality as someone individually has, you can't save a team by yourself. You can't. And unfortunately, someone like Tielemans, he just doesn't have that ability to, I think, carry a team all the way. But listen,
I think Tielemans can be a class act in a very good side. But whether he can be the reason a team is...
He's not the catalyst, is he? He's not going to be the catalyst of
But I think he can bring lots, if that makes sense. It's like, could I see Arsenal having Tielemans in their team, him playing at his best, and still lose? Does that make sense? Whereas I feel like if someone like Thomas Partey is playing at his very best for Arsenal, I think, well, that means we're in control. That means we're running the show. Right, let's have a little look, because we've got Portugal-Uruguay has kicked off 6 minutes into the game, is live watch along and coverage on DR Sports, but don't leave us yet because we are going to be keeping an eye with the FA Cup draw. Olmo could take his game to the next level at Arsenal, says Logic.
And I will say, someone like Danny Olmo has impressed me. Like, I do like him as a player, but I didn't think he had that outstanding quality to kind of go to the next level. But he has shown me in the World Cup and then obviously in the last European Championship that he played quite well in. I like him. I do like him a lot, and I think he can kind of offer something really, really good for any top team. But listen, at this current moment in time, again, if we're getting Mudryk in, someone like Danny Olmo, do we need someone like him? I think we would probably start looking more in that midfield. We're going for that Danilo, possibly. I don't know what people are saying. I think that looks like another kind of good target to go for. I then kind of look at some of the other positions. So like your Yuri Tillemans, or someone who I really, really like is Ruben Neves. I really like Ruben Neves. And funny that Portugal are playing. I don't even know if he's actually starting.
I think that is... oh, no.
He normally has a headband
on.
Oh,
there he is. Yeah, he's sort of just jogging.
Yeah.
There, coming into the screen.
So someone like Ruben Neves, I think, would absolutely thrive. And just, people put the allegations at someone like Yuri Tillemans that he's not got the legs. I think the cross between the quality that Ruben Neves has and the actual motor that he has in terms of his ability to get up and down the pitch, I think he's a top player, and he's ready to go. I mean, he was captain of Porto at 21. I think he's a quality player, man. Really
Neves is slow, says Archie.
Nah, I don't agree. I mean, look, but Archie, you might be a Wolves fan. You might know a bit more than me. I'm not here to disagree with you, but I don't think he's slow.
Caden says, who remembers Vlahovic? Yeah, I mean, it's funny how quickly players' reputations can shoot up, but, dramatically fall. And listen, Mudryk, I've known about him, and the hype around him is very comparable to the time frame and level people talk about Vlahovic, which is, this guy, no, he's a killer. This is the guy. He is going to be, the guy who's going to fire Arsenal to the title. You bring this guy in, and we didn't get him. He went to Juventus, and it's fallen down so much. He doesn't start for Serbia.
No, he doesn't start for
Mitrovic.
Yeah, and look,
and people are saying they wouldn't take Mitrovic at Arsenal.
I'll be honest with you, I couldn't give a crap. I'm so glad that he's kind of fought him, because he went for the money. He took the wrong move when he should have been part of this project, and he could have done some really, really good things. Of course, I don't wish bad on anybody, but I do look at him and start laughing, because at the end of the day, you should have trusted Arteta.
A little bit the same with Locatelli.
Listen, you should have trusted Arteta. You had it there for you. You would have got the money, you would have got the move, you would have got everything laid at your feet to come to Arsenal, and you could see that we were really positioning ourselves to get him, and ultimately he kept us like on the back foot for all that time. And I look at him, he can't get into his national team, he doesn't always start for his club side, Juventus or Nuventus, whoever you want to call him. So listen,
Newcastle's Juventus.
I'm glad. Listen, mate, you keep rotting on that bench, mate. You took the wrong decision, mate, and now that you're gonna kind of learn from that one way or another, and we're not gonna go back in for him.
I kind of get what you're saying, because I appreciate these footballers are very, very young, and there's even him, was he 21? I
think he's 22. I think
he might look. Yeah. He might look a lot older, but because of his stature.
Yeah, he's a beast.
But I kind of know what you mean. I have that similar thing, and I really had it at first with Locatelli. And I remember when he was about to go there, I remember thinking to myself, don't go to Juve. Not because they're not a great club, and not because you probably won't win things. You probably will, though they have declined massively. But more so because how many times have you seen Juve kind of pick up, the best players at some of the smaller sides in Italy, pick them up, it doesn't work for those players, and then they're wondering where it all kind of went wrong. And it's just like, when will someone break the mould and go, Arsenal, who are showing a very good track record in the last year or so of promoting young players, giving them significant minutes, and look like they're on a good trajectory. I appreciate you might want a Champions League football, but how long did that last? 5, 6, 7, 8 games? Now they're back in the Europa League.
Well, to give fairness to Locatelli is, firstly, he didn't think that there would be this crap. That's the first thing.
No,
the second thing,
no.
The second thing I would say is he's Italian, so I can kind of give him a blight, because you want to stay in your home country. You know that Juventus have got the history, they've got all the things. The old lady, look, you can't kind of discredit Juventus in that respect. But what I will say is, if I think about Vlahovic, mate, that guy, no part of me feels sorry for him at all. In actual fact, the more he kind of stays on the bench, the better I feel, because as I said, we could have made you the superstar that you should have been, and you fluffed your lines, mate. You fluffed your lines.
Tommy says, I don't think we were serious about Vlahovic. I know that's something that Turkish feels as well. And
Turkish, man, do your DR sports. Stop having your aliases and all that, man. Turkish, come on, do your sports, wait. When
I was watching the All or Nothing documentary, it surprised me that Vlahovic didn't even get mentioned once.
Good.
And that is what made me think maybe we weren't as in for him as reports were suggesting. But then so many were saying it that actually ultimately you probably think, well, maybe Arsenal just thought there's nothing to say in that part of the documentary.
Yeah,
he get far enough.
Listen, at the end of the day, we tried. I believe we tried, and he kept leading us on. And ultimately, listen, if you want to make Arsenal look bad, the chickens will come home to roost for you, mate. And now look at you. Your team needed you today. You didn't even come off the bench when your team was needing a goal. They didn't even bring a player that cost, what was it, 82 million or whatever it was.
Like
listen, mate. Listen, the guy at Fulham, he's the guy right now, and it's unfortunate for him.
What makes you think? Sorry, hearing all this, why does it make me think that Vlahovic is going to score for Juve against us in the Europa League now?
I tell you what, if he did, he's a quality player. I'm not going to say that he's not, but I just...
No, you're not. You're right. You're not criticising the player. You're not sitting there saying you don't rate him and that you don't think he's good. No. You're just saying he made a massive error.
Listen, I believe in my team, mate. I think we're such a good team at this moment in time. We've got players like Saliba that can shackle him. And you know what I love about Gabriel? I always say he will be up for the battle with a player like Vlahovic because he's that big, very, very powerful, and he would be up for the fight himself. And that's what Gabriel thrives on. He's very good at all the other stuff, but he loves to be that dominant, clatter into you kind of defender. And look, I think he'll be up for the challenge. And listen, Juventus, if you want to come to the N5, mate, meet me there, mate, because I'll be there cheering on the boys, making sure that we beat you. I would say a modest 4-0. A modest 4-0.
AFC Cape Town says, why would Arsenal tell us any of their transfer plans? Because
they did the Aubameyang.
Yeah, exactly, because they're very transparent about the Aubameyang stuff, and also because let's get it right. While the documentary was brilliant for us to see what kind of goes on behind the scenes, there was a degree of good PR they wanted out of that, which was Arteta looking good and earning the respect of people, which is the project and Josh Kroenke and all that. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that PR has been turned into a bad word.
Yeah.
Oh, you did PR, no, you should do good PR. Yeah. You should be promoting the good things you're doing.
Yeah.
But I think if you're trying to promote Arsenal and you want to tell the story of what happened back then, I think it makes Arsenal look better to say we tried and he wouldn't come and there was no one better, rather than go down the route of January was about letting players go and not signing players. So they knew how the fans were feeling. So I think ultimately the reason they didn't say or unveil, everything around the Vlahovic deal is because ultimately there wasn't that much to say. Maybe we didn't get as far as we wanted. But I also think that he probably wasn't interested in even entertaining the interest.
I don't think so either. But I want to throw another name at you, and I saw it. And the only reason why I'm going to I'm sure the FA Cup's starting now, but I want to pick your brain on this.
Go on.
Jude Bellingham. Why? And I tweeted this a day ago, and I want to read it out to the chat. I want to read it out to you, and I want to get your point. I keep seeing Jude Bellingham to Liverpool/Man United.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham to Arsenal isn't so far-fetched, in my opinion. So I said, hear me out. Wages, tick. We can play it. You can pay it. Sorry. Location, London. We got it. Winning team. That's what we're currently doing. We're a young team. That's what we currently are. I think behind the numbers that I watched, I think we 24 point something in terms of the average age, and the players that we bought, I think you said was 22. Yeah. So he fits into that, and we've got a top class coach.
People might not. The show, by the way.
Mate, it's a great show, mate. I love your show, man. I love you. I love it. So that's the other part. My last point I was going to say is the position's open for him. Why would he not come to Arsenal? Not saying that we are going to go for him, but people need to stop saying that, it's just a guaranteed banker for Liverpool, a guaranteed banker for Man United. Liverpool don't pay the wages. They've just about bust the bank open for Mo Salah. And that was even a struggle. Man United, okay, fair enough, they could pay it, but they're not in the position that we're in at this moment in time. Arsenal, I believe, other than Man City, and people might say, yeah, because they got Bernardo Silva, etc. But I believe that we have the clear, everything goes for Arsenal to get him. Listen, I might sound crazy, but
I actually agree with pretty much everything there. The only reason is, the only reason I still don't think it will happen, and that it's more like Liverpool or Man City being drawn out against Chelsea. I saw some of the chat mentioning it. There it is, confirmed.
Again?
City, Chelsea, yeah.
That was in the Carabao Cup.
Mad. How furious would you be if you're Chelsea? Man. Your first round game in the Carabao Cup and your first round game in the FA Cup.
Who's at home?
City away. City at home again. Like they were both times. Like they were in the Carabao Cup and they are on this one. Sorry, the only reason I think Bellingham's future would have been a topic of discussion for so long that I think it would have got to the point where they're quite far along the line with a deal elsewhere, and Arsenal only recently have become you are kind of discussing. Now I've just turned off the comments, so I don't see what you guys are saying, so you get a live instant reaction. I know you guys will be chatting about it. I know you guys will see a little bit earlier if you're watching the kind of live broadcast. We're streaming it here. Tottenham have just come out and they've got Portsmouth at home.
Right, so they're probably through.
You'd think so, but
you never know.
Sure.
You never know.
Listen,
but
I've seen some real cup upsets.
I mean,
Bradford, who went to Chelsea and won 4-2. That was the year Chelsea won the league.
Yeah. I think we lose to Bradford as well, actually, a few years back.
That was the Carabao Cup away. Penalties.
Yeah.
So
and
better.
I mean, look, Portsmouth have a little bit of pedigree. They won it. Well, there was a last lower league team to win it, I think. Oh no, sorry, Wigan, Leicester, Wigan.
Yeah, so Wigan. Yeah, Leicester winning it wasn't a massive surprise. Wigan got
relegated.
Got relegated.
We relegated them. The
year they won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Portsmouth won it with Sol Campbell in their team. At that point.
Sol Campbell, David James, and Redknapp was the manager.
Kanu leading the line.
Yeah.
That is Arsenal heritage. Bournemouth, Burnley in the FA Cup. We're just keeping an eye on these guys.
Do you want a home game or away?
I always want home. I know it from the fans' perspective, it's always great to be on the road and go to different places. And for that, look, if we're going to be away, give me Blackpool. Give me commentary have just come out. Give me anywhere somewhere different. I'd love to do that.
I wouldn't mind a Bristol City. I wouldn't mind
Bristol,
a Millwall.
Yeah, but otherwise home. Just give me a home game. I'd rather like a Premier League team at home than like a Championship team away.
Yes, yeah. Because they're up for it. The crowd. You kind of got to play more of the first team. Yeah. I don't mind.
I think it's coming through, so I'm trying to ignore the messages. Let me just put my do not disturb on.
It's not Aston Villa, is it? It's not Stevenage.
No, I'm trying not to look at anything. Okay.
Well, it's not. Oh, Luton, man. I wanted Luton or Wigan.
So Luton, Wigan. Okay. What else have we got? I've just turned everything on Do Not Disturb, so no one can.
Blackpool. Oh, well, if you play Blackpool, we can play. Well, Charlie Patino, he'll be cup tied.
Oxford United versus Arsenal.
Away.
Oxford United away.
What league are they? League One, League Two
of the FA Cup. I want to say League One.
That's not a bad draw. That's not a bad draw.
You've got to be happy with that.
That's not a bad draw.
I know I said I wanted a home game, but that's
away,
different ground. They are 13th in League One. 6 wins, 6 draws, 7 defeats, 25 goals scored, 21 conceded. As I said, sitting 13th in the table, a point above Charlton. Liverpool have got Wolves at home. So City, Chelsea and Liverpool with some slightly awkward tasks there. All right, now I can go back to your reaction, guys. Here we go. Good away day, says T. Bradshaw. Oxford versus Arsenal.
It's not too far.
Thank you guys in the comments. Wow. That's do you know what, Robbie? I'm going to put myself in for that. Send me to Oxford. Let's go. That'll be a good one. That'll be a good. I'm not saying easy 3 points. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm just new place, new ground. Yeah.
And it gives more minutes to your Fabio Vieira. He's going to play. We know the players that are going to be booked in. We know like your Holding's going to play. We know Matt Turner's going to play. We know Cedric might get a couple of minutes in there. We definitely know that your Fabio Vieira and Nketiah, Reece Nelson, they're going to play. Marquinhos will be on the bench if he doesn't go on loan. So look, currently, that team that I've just said out, those, what was it, nine players or whatever it was, that should be absolutely. They should be licking their lips. Get a few goals, add to the GA for the team, for the club. Can't go wrong with that, in my opinion.
I hope so.
Can't
Listen,
go wrong with that.
I don't think any of these trips are ever easy.
Nah, they're not.
I mean, like I said, you could say the same thing and slightly tweak it. I'd rather a Championship team at home. Would I rather a Premier League team at home? Maybe not. But the point is, going away to Oxford, they're going to give it their all. Mm-hmm. They're going to make it so difficult for us. Their fans are going to be buzzing. I've been in a few away crowds this season, and the Arsenal fans, especially in the last, since we've returned from the pandemic and been playing football, I've rarely been in the away end and not thought that we're the loudest in the stadium. Yeah. But Oxford will be absolutely bouncing. The fans will be amazing, and I'm really excited to make the trip. Man United versus Everton, says Tommy. Okay.
Oh!
So yeah, there you go. Another awkward one for them. Listen, you expect them to win, you expect Liverpool to win, but it's awkward. It's really, how strong do we go? And they've got the Barcelona to think about as well.
Yeah, but look, for me, I think
Southampton.
We're very, very. Oh, that's another hard game. Look, and that's what, going back to our first topic was, those games we don't know who we're going to be playing, and that's going to be in between. They're not going to be able to rotate. Where I think we are going to be able to rotate. We're going to be in a position where we don't have to play any players that we know that are going to play on that Saturday, probably other than Gabriel or Saliba, who partners Rob Holding. For me, look, that's a great tie. We're away from home. We get to give them their full capacity, because we know that Oxford might be possibly struggling with their tendencies and stuff like that. They're going to get a nice little payday. Plus, they get to see Arsenal thrash them a few goals. So, look, big up to Oxford, mate, because you don't really get to come to the Emirates, and you don't get to play the quality teams that we are. So, look.
They'll remember this, Oxford fans.
Listen, mate, Oxford fans, come at me all you want. All 5 of you, come at me, mate.
Oh,
I don't care.
Leave me out of this.
I don't care, Oxford United fans. I am ready to take any L's because, I'm not going to take any L's because we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. So that's it, guys. Oxford United host Arsenal. That is the draw. We've seen the Man City are facing Chelsea again. Chelsea fans must be furious. We know United are facing Everton. Tottenham have got Portsmouth at home. Liverpool have got Wolves at home. And yeah, that's not a bad draw. It's a new ground. It's somewhere different. It's a couple leagues below us in the football pyramid, and it's one that Arsenal can be confident.
I tell you one thing that we didn't mention, and we need to Newcastle, because they're coming.
Yeah, I know, we need to start looking at their
who people keep forgetting Newcastle. Who did Newcastle get? Guys, let us know in the chat, who did Newcastle get? Because people need to understand they've only got one game a week, so they can keep doing what we did last season, keep resting their players.
That's a good point. You low-key want them to have a
run. You want them to have a good cup run, because listen, they're in the Carabao Cup.
Sheffield Wednesday.
At home?
At Sheffield.
Listen, let's go Sheffield Wednesday, man. Well, actually, no. Let's go Newcastle. We want them to stay in.
Maybe we want their focus.
No, we want them to keep playing and keep having to play their strongest team. You never know what can happen.
Was it Cambridge who went and beat them last season?
Yes, at their ground. Yeah. With Steve Bruce, wasn't it? Yeah.
There you go. Well, there's a lesson for Arsenal. Remember that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Portugal versus Uruguay is 0-0. 25 minutes played. Not seeing a lot from either side. I mean, normally you'd look up if you notice. Oh, as I say that, decent ball. Nothing came of it. But it is live. We can see 870 of you watching. Big thank you for being with us. I know that there's World Cup stuff, there's other things going on. We really do appreciate you joining us on the live. Go and check out DR Sports. The watch-alongs have been class. Turkish is there right now. He's got Portugal in the sweepstake. Just go and indulge in the World Cup with them. A big thank you for joining us, though. Check out AFTV in Qatar out every morning. Robbie is in Qatar. He's sending that over. And as mentioned, go to AFTVstore.com for merch. We've got brand new Christmas stuff.
It's good, man. I tell you all the time, it feels good.
Different colours as well.
I feel winning. I feel like I'm in a nice piece of garment, mate. So guys, make sure
they're comfortable.
They are really comfortable, mate.
Go get them. All right, guys. Really appreciate you guys joining. As always, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet for all the AFTV updates. Check out Behind the Numbers if you haven't yet. It's even got Lee's seal of approval.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
Appreciate that a lot. All right, we'll leave it there. Big thanks to everyone. Catch you on the next one.